Diller was a little different than Michael. They are very good friends, fabulous business associates, and totally opposite human beings. Barry is very serious about everything. Barry has a very private life and has, at the time, had not been married and have kids and other things that took him away from business all the time. It was always about business. He never stopped reading. He tended to gravitate towards, it's a bad word, but intellectual, smart ideas, not overly commercial in his thinking. Everything was analyzed, maybe quietly by himself, maybe with whoever he took counsel with, but always came back in different ways. The best example I could say is, he would do Reds and Michael would do Raiders of the Lost Ark. They just had a different... Now, together it merged and it was great. The meetings at the company with the two of them were... You could sell tickets to them. It always started out nice. Within 5 minutes, they were screaming at each other. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't understand. Why did you do this? On and on. Horrendous. You would think that they would never talk to each other again. The meeting would end, and a half an hour later you'd have another meeting, and it would just start from scratch again. And because the way they pushed each other's buttons, everything came out, and everything was fully fleshed, and you got to the bottom of things. And it was always done in a way that we were always better for it. So it was sort of an interesting way to watch a different type of management style. It worked. Barry never gave up the wish to start another network, which is when Charlie Bluhdorn died, and Barry left to go to Fox, which was going to start, he wanted to start the fourth network over there. And that's when Michael went through the whole issue with Paramount when he had been guaranteed the chairman job and it was given to Frank Mancuso. That's when that whole episode started, which was interesting, and it caused a split. But Barry, from the Paramount Television Service time, he never gave up the idea of the fourth network. And that's what carried over to one of the reasons when he went to Fox that got started. But they were just interesting. I think Barry's one of the smartest, most intelligent human beings I've ever seen. He's got an interesting personality, which when you get to know him, it's really good and fun to be around, but he can be abrasive to people at times just because he's just
That's his approach.
We were in the offices there. Barry was down at the end of the hall, and Michael, and I had an office, and they're all close to each other. But instead of calling office, Barry wanted intercoms. So there was a button for Barry Diller and a button for Michael Eisner. And Barry, like I said, was very quick. He would talk to you and then he'd move on, and he would buzz me all the time. And of course, you see the chairman buzzing, no matter what's going on, you pick up the phone. And you'd be talking, and all of a sudden, he wouldn't be there because he was on to the next thing already. So one day, it was a big meeting I sort of interrupted, and he said something, and then he wasn't there. I couldn't even answer him. And so the next day, I had the intercom taken out of my office. And he came down to the office and said, "Well, what's going on with that?" I said, "If you can't say goodbye to me on the phone, then I don't need to have the intercom in here."
And
he said, "All right, just put it back." And it was sort of a lesson both ways. It was my sort of criticizing but pointing out something, and
You got your point across.
it worked out fine.